want to thank everybody for coming to this. I think this is a historic event. I first want to start out by acknowledging and thank Deb Woodman. Yes, she's saying no, 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 from the Senate Business Office, who helps make these events flow. I want to thank all of the Fountain Street studio artists that are here and board members that are here for helping to make this exhibit a reality. I do want to let you know that I would say that this is a historic event. This is the first time that we have done something like this. We are very lucky. The Senate President, Stan Rosenberg, who was elected to Senate President in January of this year, decided to allow each senator to bring artwork from their district to put on display. That had never been done before. So on a rotating basis, the senators will be able to bring artwork in and hang it for all to see. There are probably close to 1,000 people that come in this foyer every week. We have many, many trips, and especially this time of year, so many schools bring their students in. So it's been wonderful to see for me sometimes when I've come in here for something and to see the groups come in and to hear them comment on the beautiful artwork really warms my heart when it happens. So I just want to thank all of you for doing this and for being a part of this, and publicly thank the Senate President for affording me the opportunity to share my district and bring my district in for this. It really is special. But I specifically want to thank Amy Weeder. Amy, where are you? Amy, thank you. Thanks. Jory Anderson. Jory, where are you? There's Roy Perkinson. Monty Brower. And every single artist whose beautiful work is on display. Each one is very different and unique, but each one is truly beautiful. So, to start out with, welcome to the State House. For how many of you, I don't want to put you on the spot, but for how many of you, I'm just curious, is it your first time here? Great. I think that this is really a unique opportunity for you to explore somewhat of the State House and see what, at least in here and in the Senate chamber, which is next door, because this is really historic. In fact, I was mentioning to somebody, I mean, even if you look up, there's little things whenever I even walk around the State House, I still get blown away that this is where I come to work, first of all. It's a living museum, and every time I walk around, I notice something different. And the one thing that especially kids of all ages really get a kick out of, that bird up there, I was mentioning to somebody earlier, when this portion of the State House was built, this brick portion, this was the Senate chamber, the next room was the original House chamber, and then you have the governor's office on the other side. That was the full State House that was built in 1797. In 1797, if you go back to that time period, the federal government was still debating, should our national bird be the bald eagle or the turkey, as Ben Franklin was advocating. So we didn't know which one it would end up being. So if you look at that bird, it's not an eagle, it's not a turkey, it is what we refer to as a teagle. It has a little bit of a longer neck of a turkey and some features combination turkey, eagle, so whichever way the federal government decided, we'd be all set, because Massachusetts was one of the first state houses. So just picture, this was the Senate chamber, and the desks were all arranged in a circle here, and this is where the senators met at that time, 1797, through the 1900s even, and beyond. They were all men. Women didn't have the right to vote, let alone be elected as a representative or a senator. So times have changed. We've come a long way. I would suggest we still have a ways to go, but we're getting there slowly. But I do also want to recognize Framingham Town Manager Bob Halpin, who's here, who I really appreciate that he's here. Bob is what I would refer to as a participatory town manager. He's everywhere. He participates. He views his role as town manager as very broad. So thank you for being here and being a part of this event. It's greatly appreciated. And I do also want to recognize Holly Andrews, who's here, who heads up the Framingham Downtown Renaissance. Holly, who's doing a phenomenal job in really moving downtown forward and bringing people together and coalescing a sense of community and downtown and being the spark that really has energized it. So thank you so much as well. Thank you. So, you know, I just want to say that our economy in Metro West and in Framingham, and in fact that's what our panel was this morning, talking about economic development in Framingham, and the arts and the cultural councils and all of you contribute so much to not only improving our quality of life with the arts and whatever aspect of it that you are involved in, whether you are an artist or a board member to support or a contributor in any way, but it also really helps our economic engine in Framingham and Metro West, and I would say the state. It's been really important to support the creative economy and support the arts because of that factor, and I really think that Framingham and Metro West is becoming an economic engine of the creative economy. More and more people are recognizing it, and that's why it is particularly important and special to me to be the first of the senators and to have the exhibit here for this month and for next month in particular, because it really does show how far Framingham has come and to where we are, and just we have only to go up. I mean, and that is very exciting. People recognize all that Framingham has with the artists, and I have to say the Fountain Street Studios is known across the state. When I go around to the state, people mention it, so you know, you all are doing not only something right, but a lot of somethings right in just really getting the word out and doing what you're doing and helping to contribute not only to an awareness of the arts and how important it is, but also to our economy, to our culture, and to really help our quality of life and help improve that. So I thank you so much. I do want to once again thank you for coming. I do want to acknowledge that I have a lot of my staff here. Could you raise your hands? Just, you know, people who have worked to also make this happen and who make my life much easier and better. They're the phenomenal group of folks, and I can't tell you how hard they work as well. So if you see, just like town employees, if you see them, thank them for what they do, for state employees as well. So with that, I'm honored to introduce Monty Brower to come and talk a little bit about you know, the Fountain Street Studios and the exhibit. Thank you again. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Monty Brower. I'm a proud member of the Fountain Street Studios community, and I'm here first and foremost to thank Senator Spilka for this wonderful opportunity to be the artists kicking off this series of cultural expositions from all over Massachusetts. We're so proud to be part of this initiative by Senate President Rosenberg. I'd also like to thank very much Senator Spilka's staff, Dennis Giambetti, who was so important in facilitating communication with Senator Spilka's office and helping us to, and being the liaison with Fountain Street to put this together, and also with, thank you, Rachel, for helping us with the publicity, and also to Meredith, who played an important role in helping to put this together as well. And I would be terribly remiss not to express special gratitude to Deborah Woodman and her staff. She was a wonderful collaborator. She is someone who has her own special appreciation for the arts, and it was really fun to work with her and her staff to actually put these paintings on the wall and bring them to this special and historic place, which is not an easy thing to do logistically, and Deborah really did make it easy, so thank you very much. In some ways, for Fountain Street Studios, this exhibit is a little bit of a coming out party because recently the artist community has gotten together, and we now have a nonprofit incorporation status that enables us to represent the studio and the artists within it to the community, and also to further build up our connections with Framingham and the Metro West community as part of arts and culture in that region. A few things about Fountain Street. It's one of these wonderful old light industrial warehouse buildings that's just a warren of wonderful spaces and big windows like these admitting lots of light. It's home to about over 70 artists and artisans working in all kinds of media. And it also includes some significant small businesses in the Framingham community, some light manufacturing, some printing, and other businesses. And it's, so it's part of the Fountain Street community to support those businesses, as well as part of the mission of the Fountain Street nonprofit to help promote the work of the art and the artisans within the building, and to develop relationships with the community, and to increase the profile of Fountain Street Studios within the arts and cultural community in Metro West. So we're very happy to be participating in that. We have, besides this wonderful show, we have two major events every year. We have open studios in December. I believe December 5th is our date this year for open studios. So that's a time when any of the public can come and visit with the artists, see their work in their studio spaces, talk to them about what they do, about their inspiration and vision, and it's a wonderful time. We have a similar event in April of every year as well, Springtime Open Studios. Many of our artists also have work in other settings throughout the greater Boston area, galleries, corporate, and other exhibition spaces. And I would also be remiss if I didn't mention that Fountain Street Studios is home to Fountain Street Fine Arts, which is a member gallery that was started by two of our Fountain Street artists, Marie Craig and Cheryl Clinton. And their gallery has been staging wonderful curated exhibits from among their membership and other artists in the greater Boston area, and they've been receiving increasing favorable critical attention from the Boston Globe and other culture and arts organizations. So we're very proud of that as well. I'd like to just say that personally, it was a wonderful experience to work with my fellow artists to put this show together. I'm so grateful to Jory Anderson, who really did a lot more work than I did to make this happen, but I was happy to be the front man. And it was really, it's really been a pleasure for me to get to know my fellow artists, to see their work, and to put together a show that I think is varied, colorful, and has a wonderful contemporary feel, and that I hope represents Fountain Street Studios well, but more importantly, as Senator Spilka pointed out with this historic occasion, I hope that this show will represent the very important relationship that exists between artists and their community, and how important I believe that is for our identity as a state, that the arts and culture are something that we support and treasure, and we're so grateful that to have this very powerful symbol of that in this exhibit here in this building today. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.